If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gateway to the West. Racetrack formerly known as Gateway Motorsports Park is now World Wide Technology Raceway. Tonight it'll play host to the stars and cars of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup Series, the official series, working round number 6 already on the racetrack for qualifications. Before we get to who's going to run where tonight, let's show you where the point standings shaping up as we near the midpoint of the season. River Hayes with a wide margin over Jeffrey Stanton for the overall Silver Crown points title. Brandon Buckberger currently third. Manuel Paredes fourth. Pablo Donoso, your top 5. Ryan Carwile, Nate Ranke, Connor Babel, Joe Quinn, Andre Castro, the top 10 in points. Qualifications are underway just about 2 minutes into the session here. Quick time on the board so far belongs to Manuel Paredes. He's in at a quick time 31.88 seconds. David Kolb going to be second quick. His best lap time at 32.01 seconds. Just like that, River Hayes goes to the top of the charts as he completes his qualification laps. Let's pick up down the front straightaway. Laura Gerhardt in the number 21. That car heads off into turn number 1. .31 lap time for River Hayes, carrying that number 1 plate on the front of the car as the points leader. J.R. Allen moves up to the 3rd position at it in car number 13, 13.89 seconds. Just like that, qualifications have finished. Very, very short qualification runs here. Actually, a couple of cars still left to take time with about a minute and a half track, though. I want to remind everybody, those tuning in here, you can support the National Racing Network on Facebook by sending some stars our way. We'd greatly appreciate it. The Silver Crown and Sprint Car broadcasts here are entirely community supported, and we thank you all for your donations to those efforts. One of our fine sponsors, Jeff McConey, checking in, saying, hey, cool commercial. See? We're getting you some brand exposure there, bud. If you would like to join in on the fun, get in on the party of everything going on here at the National Racing Network, you can email sales@nationalracingnetwork.com. Let's do this. While we're waiting for qualifications to finish up here, we'll say the big thank yous here, especially to the fine folks at Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. They're your one-stop shop for the best in floor coatings and treatments. Everything from epoxy floor coatings to custom designs and your own artwork in the finished product. Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey has you covered. Find them on Facebook at Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Hot Shoe Racewear is your source for the best in screen printing, embroidery, and sublimation. Whether it's racewear, workwear, or streetwear, Hot Shoe Racewear will have you looking at your best. Find out more online at hotshoeracewear.com. Make sure you tell Alan and the team that NRN sent you. The McConey Setup Shop is your home for iRacing setups and the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports, fielding the number 46 and 90 in the Coca-Cola iRacing series of Jimmy Mullis and Zach Novak. With everything from the Legends to the Cup cars, they've got you covered. Dirt setups for late models, modifieds, midgets, and wing sprints are available as well. Head on over to McConeySetupShop.com today. You can't beat the best, so don't settle for the rest. Field starting to grid up here. Qualifications have finished. Let's get you the starting lineup as the field starts to drop in. River Hayes going to be your pole sitter. Quick time of 31.830 seconds. Half a tenth back, Manuel Paredes, a Chilean native, will line up on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 will have J.R. Allen and Andre Castro. Row 3, David Kolb and Joseph Smith. Mike McConville and Pablo Donoso in row number 4. Row 5, Connor Babel and Laura Gerhardt. Thomas Lewandowski and Ryan Steele in row 6. Row 7 will have Brandon Buckberger and Wayne Hutchison. Derek Love and Vinny Sansone in row number 8. Row 9, Nate Ranke and Jeffrey Stanton. Alex Grabser, Nick Coyle going to make up row number 10. James Watson, Justin Kleber rounding out the field here in row number 11. Once again, 2 splits of Silver Crown cars here will take to World Wide Technology Raceway. Been a pretty consistent 2 splits of cars as well. Tell you a little bit about this place. Located in Madison, Illinois, just across the Mississippi River from St. Louis, Missouri. 1.25 miles in length. Turns 1 and 2 banked at 11 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 banked at 9 degrees. Cars you'll see tonight manufactured by C&R. 355 cubic inch V8s making 819 horsepower. It's a direct drive, no more shifting gears as of this season. 102-inch wheelbase, 1,600 pounds, top speed of 170 miles per hour. The cars won't quite touch that, but they will be absolutely hauling the mail into turn number 1 and turn 3 as well. 67 laps will be the distance tonight. Caution flags are on. Caution laps do count here in the Silver Crown Series. No backup cars are available to the drivers, and we will have 1 attempt at an overtime finish if necessary. Field will make their way down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4. iRacing safety car will make the hard left-hand turn into the pit area, and the field will be under the control of River Hayes and Manuel Paredes on the front row. Hayes' car is in. Green flags in the air. We're underway here in the Silver Crowns at Gateway. Hayes grabs the early lead. Paredes is going to be in a fight with J.R. Allen. How about almost 3 wide in the middle of turns 1 and 2? That's Andre Castro up to the high side. He's going to take that fight to the 13 of J.R. Allen. Tire conservation is going to be absolutely critical around this place tonight. Once the tires come up to temperature, the field should settle in fairly quickly here. J.R. Allen still hung up on the outside lane. He's able to slot down in front of David Kolb. Kolb just ahead of Pablo Donoso. Kolb going to make the move to the inside. That car of Allen is not handling well whatsoever. Swings way down to the inside, chops the nose off of Donoso, tries to grab the better position into turns 1 and 2, forcing Donoso to the outside. Connor Babel going to be right there as well in the 15. Looks like everybody going to settle in pretty cleanly here and start to churn some laps. Already 3 laps in the books. Check the comment here from Ziggy the DOS Archiving Ohio Dirt Track Racing. I really should do some officials so I can finally race my crown. I'm the same way, bud. These things are a ton of fun to drive. I love to drive the crowns. The sprint cars are a ton of fun to drive. Got to get the I rating up there as well to make the top split here. Field now pretty cleanly single file. This is, like we mentioned, really going to be a battle of tire conservation and not making any big mistakes. Let the racetrack come to you. Let the cars start to develop a feel over the course of the long run. Some drivers have looked at this race as potentially one of the drop weeks that they have available to them over the course of the 12-week season. The C&R Silver Crown cars were more built for the high-banked mile and a halves, very common in the NASCAR series. Not necessarily the easiest to handle on the flatter racetracks. How about almost 3 wide coming off the corner, just back behind these guys. Let's pick up the battle here a little deeper in the field. Mike McConville just ahead of Thomas Lewandowski, Ryan Steele. Steele already with a win on the broadcast series this season. Those cars will battle off at turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. As the cars start to settle in, it's really going to be about making up positions in as methodical of a manner as possible. If we get a caution flag, the restarts are still single file. So you're not going to gain anything by picking up rows and kind of bunching everybody up. But you don't want to lose sight of the race leaders. Speaking of, at the front of the field, Andre Castro to the outside. Manuel Paredes to the inside. He's got a ton of real-world experience in these cars as well. Down the backstretch, working lap number 8. Castro will complete the pass. He is up 2 positions here from the drop of the green flag. A couple of big movers so far. Brandon Buckberger up 5, now running in the 8th position. Also, Vinny Sansone and Jeffrey Stanton up 4 spots apiece. I mean, you can see how the field has really started to spread itself out here. Show you the gaps back to the race leader, and these will update in real time. Castro catching in on the back tail tank of River Hayes, your race leader. Paredes about a half second back. Already 5th place J.R. Allen about a 2.25 seconds back. Caution flag on the racetrack. Trouble going to be back in and around the turn 4 area. Looks like 3 cars may be involved in this one. As they get all settled down, let's Pick up the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. See what happened to the 21 of Laura Gerhardt. Got a little bit of the inside curve. Big wiggle to the outside. Oh, wild ride for the 19 of Alex Krapser, and Nick Coyle getting a piece of that as well. Cue up the in-car on this one for sure. Take a look at the incident here from Alex Krapser's view. Well, Krapser was actually the third car in on that one. Not much he could do there. 19 was Nick Coyle. Here's what Coyle saw off of turn 4. Sticks the landing, grabs a gear. The Russian judge scored that one an 8. Well done, Nick Coyle. But Alex Krapser now going to be on the pit road. Fodden checking in on YouTube. I died lap 2 when the bottom split, so I'm here. I don't know that you can call it bottom split in the Silver Crowns. Not quite like we're dealing with a D-level series here, you know, an ARCA or some of the other lower class series here. Bottom split even in the Silver Crowns is a pretty stout field. Now working lap number 12 here under the caution flag. Our first one of the race for that 3-car incident off of turn number 4. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, where you're checking in and enjoying the show tonight. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in here on Facebook, YouTube, and on our Twitch feed. Make sure you check us out there, twitch.tv/National Racing Network. If you want to support us a little more personal way, you can head on over to patron.nationalracingnetwork.com. That'll take you to our Patreon page where you can get in on all the excitement. Actually, just recording a podcast earlier today. That's one of the benefits here. You get to sit in on all the podcast recordings and all the fun stuff we have going on here at the National Racing Network. World Wide Technology Raceway at Gateway has a very interesting history here. The place actually originally opened in 1967 as St. Louis International Raceway. Facilities were owned for quite a while by Dover Motorsports, who at the time, in addition to owning Dover International Speedway, also owned the Memphis International Raceway, Nashville Super Speedway. As they divested their properties, Curtis Francois and his team came in and have turned Gateway into one of the premier facilities in auto racing under the branding of World Wide Technology Raceways. Green flags back in the air here on lap number 14. River Hayes going to jump out to the 0.3 of a second lead over Andre Castro. Field single file sneaking their way down the back straightaway. Everybody's staying in fairly closely to each other here. A little bit of dicing back in the pack. Let's slide back here. Pick up Brandon Buckberger as he looks inside of Pablo Donoso. That familiar yellow and purple number 11 machine of Donoso. Able to hold on to the spot. You get a little bit more drive off the corners. But it can definitely cost you in tire wear, especially as you get late in the run. Truly worldwide audiences tuning in Hugo Morales saying hi from Santiago, Chile, rooting for Paredes and Donoso as usual. Thank you very much for tuning in, Hugo. We appreciate it, bud. And some viewers from Japan watching the Aero Info Vintage Indy a week ago. It absolutely floors me, the reach that some of these things will have. In fact, some folks tuning in from Australia for the High Side Hustle show last Thursday as well. Big battle off the corner. That was Thomas Lewandowski having a big moment. Vinny Sansone to the outside on Mike McConville. Sansone gets the pass completed. Just a little bit further ahead. Looked like the 13 of J.R. Allen was thinking about a move on Joseph Smith down the backstretch. He's going to peek out again down the front straightaway. The draft will come into play on these cars a little bit. Having the help from David Kolb could be pretty big there for Allen as well. Kolb is the 11 on your screen. That black and white car, blue numbers on it. He'll be the 6 if you're looking at the timing and scoring screens. See our buddy Robert Kreiser checking in, saying hello. What's going on, brother? Hope you're enjoying the show here for the Silver Crown Cup from Gateway. World Wide Technology Raceway. Battle for the race lead into turn 1. Andre Castro looking inside of River Hayes. That 2 machine has been very quick throughout practice and qualifications. Hayes carries the momentum off the top side of the corner. You'll get a little bit of a benefit more from that in turns 1 and 2. Oh, man, they're almost making contact through 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2 are the wider of the corners. Banked at 11 degrees, you're going to be able to carry a good bit more speed through turns 1 and 2. This track is truly egg-shaped. Turns 3 and 4, significantly narrower radius, and only 9 degrees of banking in the corner. Working lap number 20 of 67. Top 7 cars all within 1 second of the race leader. This line is holding pretty tightly together. This is the draft coming into play. And in fact, even it's going to be more like the top 10 to 12 cars. We're all going to be pretty tight here. J.R. Allen looking inside of the 16 of Joseph Smith off the corner. Smith can hold the spot. Big tag slapper out of Allen. Oh, what a save down the straightaway. Save of the night candidate early on for J.R. Allen. Now he's going to have to deal with the 3 of Vinny Sansone, who comes around on the outside. See if we can't get you a little bit closer look here at the 13. I don't see any damage on the right-hand side. The left side looks pretty good as well. Maybe a little bit banged up at the front end, but not too bad. Shouldn't affect them in a big way anyway. Keeping things kind of peeking towards the front of the field here. The racing's been good throughout the race so far. Andre Castro absolutely hounding River Hayes. Staying about a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths back. Already working lap number 24. Just 1 caution flag so far for 4 laps. From lap 10 to lap 14. The inside down the back straightaway. Great run off the corner for Castro. He's going to grab the lead, trying to bring Manuel Paredes with him. Caution flag is out. Yellow flag on the racetrack. That's going to slow things down once again. Let's take a look here and see what happened. May have been Thomas Lewandowski having an issue here in the number 9. Oh, the 5 going around in front of him. A little bit of a quick spin there for Jeffrey Stanton. Let's take a look here. Pick up Jeffrey Stanton in the 5. See if we can get a look, see what happened to that car in turns 3 and 4. Oh, Mike McConville way on the binders. Little bit of help from the 14 and 8 Ranky, and that car goes around. Little bit of damage on the left-hand side. Again, doesn't look too bad, though, for the 5 machine. We're going to have a new race leader for the second time tonight. Andre Castro grabbing the top spot away from River Hayes and getting it done just before the caution flag flies. That's going to put Castro up front for the restart. Castro does not have a win yet in our broadcast Silver Crown Cup Series races. River Hayes does have a win this season. The McConey setup shop number 81. And an absolutely massive points lead at this point. At the halfway point, more than 200 points ahead of second place running Jeffrey Stanton. Looks like we're going to have some takers down pit road here. J.R. Allen, also Thomas Lewandowski, will both elect to come in. They do have one set of tires in the pits, but that's more of an emergency set than anything else. You really aren't going to make a strategy play to take tires here at any point. It just takes too long to take 4 tires. However, the bigger issue will be if repairs are needed, and the crew will go to work on the 13. J.R. Allen, Thomas Lewandowski, both now on their way out of the pit lane, and we'll swing up to the front of the field, pick up Andre Castro, your race leader. River Hayes running in the second position. As we mentioned, the McConey setup shop number 81. He will be the 1 if you're keeping tabs on timing and scoring. Currently third, the 12 Emmanuel Paredes. We haven't gotten to talk about this guy enough. Did several real-world events in these Silver Crown cars when they ran in the mid-2000s. At the time, actually, when they were introduced to the iRacing service, still under the sanctioning of the United States Auto Club. Basically, a big track oval equivalent to the Silver Crown ground pounders. You see the upright sprint cars on the dirt and the mile ovals, as well as some of the short tracks. Place like Gateway would probably see this type of Silver Crown car, whereas some of the shorter racetracks that we visit on the series would more typically see the kind of standard Silver Crown entry. As we talk about some of the other racetracks we're going to visit here, let's get you the upcoming schedule here for the Silver Crowns. Next week will be Texas Motor Speedway, big 1.5 mile, born and bred for these Silver Crown cars. Then we go to the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway, and then Dover International Raceway down in Delaware. Exciting next 3 weeks. Can't believe we're already going to be in the second half of the season here for the Silver Crown Cup. Little bit of wiggling in line right before the restart. Don't want to open up the top side too much. Green flag back to the air. We're underway. River Hayes going to run that outside line. It's kind of a middle groove you see right there in between the two black tar stripes on the asphalt down the corners. Side-by-side battle back behind him. Brandon Buckberger looks to the inside of Joe Smith. He claims the spot off of turn 2. Going to bring Pablo Donoso with him. Through turns 3 and 4. The battle for second continues to rage as well. River Hayes has to go way up to the outside lane. Really swings the door open for Manuel Paredes. He's going to grab the spot. He has it on corner entry, but what does River Hayes have on corner exit? It may not matter, as Paredes is going to be far enough ahead. He can swing up in line, stop the momentum of Hayes. Oh, what a tank slapper saved by David Kolb. There's 2 in one night. Working lap number 31. What do you think, folks? How about we get me to be quiet here for a minute? We'll give you all a chance to crank it up. River Hayes with a big swing down to the inside. He is going to be all over the back end of Manuel Paredes off of turn number 2. Good battle back in the field a little bit as well here. River Hayes now back behind Manuel Paredes. Paredes able to hold on to that second position. Hayes down 2 spots from the drop of the green flag. Biggest mover forward on the night so far. How about the number 3 machine? That bright orange, white, blue roll cage entry there of Vinny Sansone. He's up 9 spots from qualifications. Just ahead of him, battling for the 5th position, Brandon Buckberger is up 8, but he's got Pablo Donoso all over his tail tank into 3. Now just past the halfway point, lap number 35 on the board. In fact, it'll be 36 here in just a moment. We'll slide back, pick up Mike McConville as he catches up onto the back end of Nate Ranke. Ranke working the outside lane in turns 1 and 2. That battle will continue side by side down the backstretch. Ranke's got to breathe the throttle just a little bit. That should be enough for McConville to get the pass completed down the front straightaway. Ranke carrying way too much speed into turns 1 and 2. Swings to the outside, but I tell you what, he got a heck of a run down the backstretch. He'll dive to the inside on turns 3 and 4. Couple of tires right down on the curbing to the inside. This fight will continue on for another lap as 38 is now on the scoreboard. Oh, big wiggle back there for J.R. Allen. He's still trying to save that car. He has an absolute handful. 20 of Justin Cliver comes around him. J.R. Allen down 14 spots from the race start here. Peek back in at the front of the field. Your top three, once again, nose to tail down the back straightaway. Into one. Here comes Manuel Paredes looking to the inside. He's going to slide up the racetrack and actually lose second spot in that battle for the lead to River Hayes. Giving up a fair bit of time there as well. Not a whole lot of settling in, that's for sure. Down the backstretch, Hayes now going to look to the inside of Castro. You gain a little bit of time on corner entry, but the outside lane gets the big drag down the front stretch. At the line, it's going to be Andre Castro by half a car length. Oh, they're almost making contact through turn two. Hayes now going to come up top, try to block off the advance of Manuel Paredes. A little bit of defensive driving while on the attack against Andre Castro. The high line gives Hayes the run. He's going to tuck back in line, won't attempt the pass into turn number one. It almost feels like you're having to set up these passes 2 to 3 laps in advance. Timing out when you're going to get the momentum and when the run's going to come off the corner. Seems like everybody's starting to work a little bit higher line through the corners as well. It'll be a combination of tires going away and just not leaving the door open for the attack to come. Not necessarily even a preemptive maneuver, so to speak, but more just choosing which racing line you're going to run. Offering the cars behind you very little chance to make up some ground, but tell you who has made up ground, it's David Kolb. He's now closed in on this top three. It's now a 4-car battle for the lead as Manuel Paredes looks to the inside of Hayes off of 2. Great run down the backstretch. Hayes to the inside of Castro. He'll get the pass completed. Manuel Paredes going to try to shoot the gap as well. And he's going to have help from David Kolb, trying to give a little bit of drafting assistance down the straightaway. Castro hung up on the outside. He's going to carry a fair bit of speed down the backstretch here, and he may get River Hayes back for the lead as they get into one. And as these cars run side by side, it is slowing them up tremendously. Best lap time for the race leader, River Hayes, 32:16. 32:11, the best lap time for Andre Castro. Last time by 32:62, 32:61 respectively. They're losing about a half second. The 3-car battle became 4. It's now a 5-car fight, with Pablo Donoso joining the party, and Brandon Buckberger's going to make it a 6-car battle for the lead. How about 3 wide into turn 3? What a move by David Kalm. Stuffs the nose of the 11 way to the inside. Hayes now has the race lead. 20 to go here at World Wide Technology Raceway. Just can't take our eyes off of this fight at the front. Top 6 cars separated by 0.6 of a second. Paredes falling back behind Pablo Donoso, but they'll fight side by side off the corner. That's the fight for the 4th position. Top 3 seem to have settled in. Now the question becomes, who has been saving tires? If you conserved enough of the Hoosier rubber underneath these machines, they're now a full car width off the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Back hearing one of the drivers was talking about pre-race. His setup notes say rip the lip on used tires. We may see them get pretty high up the racetrack through turns 1 and 2, trying to carry as much speed as possible later in the run. Lap traffic will be just ahead of the race leaders. It's absolutely going to come into play here. That's the 19 machine of Nick Boyle. He's down to the inside and out of the way. Oh, one car bounces it up off the outside retaining wall down the back straightaway. That was J.R. Allen. Caution flag is out. We are back under yellow for the 3rd time tonight, and River Hayes will be your race leader when we come back to green. He's made a couple of great saves so far tonight, but unfortunately this time around, the tank slapper caught up to J.R. Allen. He bounces it off the wall, gets it to the outside, spins it around just a little bit. Everybody able to avoid that spun around number 13 machine, but he does have to take the tow back to the pit area. So it'll be 15 to go this next time by the start-finish line. 3rd caution flag of the night. Coming out on lap number 51. That incident involving the 13 of J.R. Allen. This is going to absolutely set up a barn burner late in this one for sure. We'll see when the field's going to come back to green here. River Hayes will be your race leader, trying to extend his point lead in what is one of, if not the best, sprint car splits you'll see in a given week on iRacing. The way the split system works is it's there to ensure the best matchup. So when you have more than a full field of cars, in this case tonight we have 44 that entered the Silver Crown race, instead of having did not qualifies, they split the field into 2 separate race servers. The top 22 in iRating would make your top split, everybody else is going to head to the bottom split. Some of the more popular series, the Rookie Series, the D-Class Series, you may see 15 or 20 splits in one of those given races. So the line between top split and bottom split can be a pretty wide margin, depending on what car you're running, and it's really not a big gap here in the Silver Crown cars. Felipe Agrodnik checking in on YouTube saying, Viva Chile. Thank you very much for joining us, Felipe. We appreciate it, bud. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'll get you the shout-outs. Make sure you do all the social stuff. Like the page, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. Should get the one to go signal this time by from the iRacing officials. You'll see the lights go out on top of the safety car once they get across the start-finish line. There you go. The lights are out. We will go back to green flag racing here on lap number 55. We'll actually take the green here on 56. There'll be 13 laps remaining when they come back to green. Everybody up along the outside safer barrier through turns 3 and 4. iRacing rules say once that pace car pulls off, you are free to go at the leader's discretion, and passing is only permitted on the outside until you cross the start-finish line. Pablo Donoso going to try to time out the pass into one. He's not going to be quite close enough to take advantage and get underneath of David Call, but he gets the good run off the corner. We'll see if he'll be there to continue the fight. How about Vinny Sansone in the 3? Up 9 from his starting position. He's going to look inside of Brandon Buckberger into 3. Oh, man, little bit of bumper cars going on off the corner. The longer this run goes, the lighter the fuel tank gets and the more wiggly the cars are going to be on corner exit. Not the spot you want to have somebody beating on your back bumper and tail tank, that's for sure. And you can see these cars are absolutely all over the place right now. Big time handfuls back in the pack. No real fight for the race lead. The gap's at about 0.3 of a second, so we'll keep the shot pointed back here in the pack just a little bit. Oh, what a save. That was 2 or 3 cars making a wide move to the inside. After running up front for most of the event, Joseph Smith in the 16. Now going to be back in the pack just a little bit. Seeing some front end damage on some of these cars as well. It will hurt them aerodynamically for sure. Nate Ranke, Wayne Hutchison, Connor Babel all going to do battle back here. You can see the right front corner of that number 15 machine of Connor Babel. Not in the greatest of shape here late in the race. Let's move back to the front of the field here. Top 2. Oh, what a save. That was Ryan Steele. Holy cow, he's going to get passed by Jeffrey Stanton. Mike McConville going to look to the inside as well. Stanton slides up the racetrack. McConville able to dive inside. Mentioning things are settling down. Oh, James Watson up into the outside retaining wall. Down the straightaway. He gets the car off the fence. Watson sends it off into turns 1 and 2. River Hayes made a fantastic restart. Has 0.3 of a second over Andre Castro.
This is the battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Pablo Donoso going to look to the inside of Carl. Manuel Paredes there as well. 61 of 67 on the scoreboard right now. And that 4 machine of Brandon Buckberger is an absolute handful right now. Let's slide back, take a peek at that car. Trouble on the racetrack. Caution flag going to come out. You heard the crunch sound. Let's get you Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Ryan Steele, Mike McConville involved in this one. Steele slides up the racetrack just a little bit. He and McConville make contact. Hard hit in the outside wall. Oh! McConville absolutely gets drilled. Once again, let's go on board here with Mike McConville. Oh, that second hit just looks like it hurts. There's Mike McConville now sitting on pit road. Ryan Steele looks like his night will be done as well. As we work lap number 63, this is going to be very, very close to approaching overtime here. I think we may get the green with about 2 laps to go here, as we're down to 5 laps remaining. See Ziggy asking the question on Twitter, Ryan Steele any relation to Dave Steele? You know, I don't know. We'll have to find out the answer to that one for you. Dave Steele, an absolute legend, especially on the pavement side of things in the sprint car world. Unfortunately, losing his life at the former DeSoto Speedway back about, I want to say 2012 maybe. Dave was absolutely one of the best in a pavement sprint car. So good, in fact, that the Carbonite Classic at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, or Lucas Oil Raceway Park now, is now known as the Dave Steele Carbonite Classic. Working lap 64. One of the things about the restarts here, and we'll see if we'll try to get you a little bit wider shot here. River Hayes does have the ability to leave a gap to the pace car. However, iRacing has started to crack down on drivers who basically right here on the 1 to go lap would slow it way down and let the pace car get out to a big gap. That way, the leader could decide anywhere between turn 3 and the front straightaway. They could decide that was the go point. iRacing has started to crack down on that. The race leader does have to stay within a certain distance of the pace car, or a black flag is issued to the race leader. By the same token, the gap has to remain the same throughout the field as well. So it prevents second place from hanging way back and getting a big run on the race leader who's a sitting duck. But here you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout. Yeah, Ziggy Singh checking into the comments. It may have been, I think, 2016, 2017. Might not have been that far ago when we lost Dave Steele, but looking forward to all the festivities coming up in Indianapolis for the month of May. We will have wall-to-wall coverage of it right here on the National Racing Network. That is for sure. But first, we got some business to take care of tonight. River Hayes, the Makoni Setup Shop, number 81, your race leader. Andre Castro in the number 2 machine will line up on his tail tank. When do the race leaders choose to go? You can't pass the race leader. At least too early anyway. Hayes keeps it right up on the outside retaining wall. Great flag back in the air. 2 to go here at Gateway. Hayes grabs the lead. Donoso, Paredes, also David Kolb. That'll be the fight. 3rd, 4th, and 5th down the backstretch. Through turns 3 and 4, this battle's going to stay hot and heavy. Guy who's been hot all season looks to continue that trend tonight. River Hayes, your race leader, with now just a couple of corners to go. Down the backstretch for the final time. Through turns 3 and 4, Andre Castro won't be close enough to challenge. Off of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Big mess down the front stretch just behind him. River Hayes picks up the win. Several cars having an issue right at the checkered flag. What a fantastic race from River Hayes. Quite frankly, Andre Castro as well. Manuel Paredes putting up a big fight at the front of the field as well. Get you a good look at that number 81 Makoni Setup Shop entry as he pulls it down the front stretch. I think you can... Well, we'll see if he's going to be able to burn it down anyway. River Hayes parks it on the victory stripe. Hops out of the race car. See if any of these drivers are going to join in here for some post-race interviews. While we wait for the drivers to come in, let's show you the final results from tonight's round 6 of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup official series. River Hayes, your winner by 0.6 of a second over Andre Castro. Pablo Donoso coming home in the 3rd position. 4th belongs to David Kolb. 5th, Manuel Paredes. Brandon Buckberger finishing 6th. Vinny Sansone 7th. Good run there for Vinny. Picking up 9 spots. Our Charger of the night belongs to the 8th place finisher, Jeffrey Stanton. He's up 10 spots from tonight's starting grid. Finishing in the 9th position is the 9 of Thomas Lewandowski. Nate Ranke, coming home in the 10th position. 11th belongs to Joseph Smith. 12th, Derek Love. 13th, Wayne Hutchison. 14th, Justin Kleiber. Laura Gerhardt in the 15th position. 16th, James Watson. 17th, Connor Babel. 18th is the 19 of Nick Coyle. Ryan Steele finishing in 19th position. 20th to Mike McConville. Alex Krapser in the 21st position, and J.R. Allen rounds out the field. We're going to peek around some of the Discords here, see if we can see any of the drivers who may be coming in for interviews. Doesn't look like we have anybody just yet. Let's do this as we Give the drivers another minute or so to pop in to say hi and chat with us after this fantastic race from World Wide Technology Raceway. I want to make sure we say a big thank you once again to the Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. They're your one-stop shop for the best in floor coatings and treatments. Everything from epoxy floor coatings to custom designs and your own artwork in the finished product. Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey has you covered. Find them on Facebook at Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Hot Shoe Racewear is your source for the best in screen printing, embroidery, and sublimation. Whether it's racewear, workwear, or streetwear, Hot Shoe Racewear will have you looking your best. Find out more online at hotshoeracewear.com and make sure you tell them that NRN sent you. The McConey Setup Shop is your home for iRacing setups and the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports, fielding the number 46 and 90 in the Coca-Cola iRacing Series of Jeremy Mullis and Zach Novak. With everything from the Legends to the Cup cars, they've got you covered. Dirt setups for late models, modifieds, midgets, and wing sprints are available as well. Head on over to McConeySetupShop.com today. You can't beat the best, so don't settle for the rest. So Ryan Steele checking into the comments saying no, Ziggy, he's not related to Dave Steele. Pop this one up on the screen here from Manuals saying, great race. Thank you for tuning in tonight, bud. That one was a ton of fun to watch for sure. And looks like we will not have any of the drivers popping in tonight. So with that, we'll be about ready to wrap up our coverage here of the Silver Crown Cup Series official races in the World Wide Technology Raceway, Madison, Illinois. Coming up tomorrow night, we will have sprint car racing from, I believe, Stafford Motor Speedway. Sprint cars on a short track in New England. It sounds like a perfect night of racing to me. Coming up on Thursday night, no High Side Hustle show this week. Bert and Adam are down covering all the festivities for the World of Outlaws and Super Dirt Car Series at the Bristol Motor Speedway. 10:15 p.m., however, we will have the Indy Pro 2000 Series. But with that, we will wrap up our coverage here of the iRacing Silver Crown Series tonight from Gateway. On behalf of everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us here tonight. Have a good night, everybody.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.